Hey guys, Angry Monkey here.
Let's get mad with Angry Monkey. It's time for Angry Monkey Games. Angry Monkey Games. It's an internet let's play show. Angry Monkey Games. Here we go.
With Jackson Ferrell.
Yeah, from Hot Pile of Garbage. I'm a guest. A musical guest.
That was good. That was really good. You just thought of that just now.
Well, thanks.
That was the first I've heard of this. So.
It actually occurred to me earlier, but I, just the idea popped into my head, and here I am starting this episode with it. Little improv comedy for you guys.
Okay, so we're...
Narrator time, Junpei. And we're done. Music is not my forte. Wait, what was that noise? Was it a song by Jackson Ferrell from Hot Pile of Garbage?
Junpei, you couldn't hear your own voice in singing a song. But we did it. Looks like it worked, but I can't see what it looked like. But I heard something unlock over by the exit. Let's go. Let's go.
Good plan, Mario. Stand. Bow. Be seated. Well, I guess he hasn't forgotten. I guess he hasn't forgotten that. At least Snake thinks it's funny.
Ha ha ha. Yes, I suppose that was the classroom bell, wasn't it? I don't imagine that's what Zero was thinking of, however. No, Zero almost certainly meant to suggest Westminster, not middle school.
Westminster?
The palace in London that plays host these days to the Houses of the Parliament.
Ah, that's where I heard it before.
It's also in plenty of schools, too, as I mentioned, but you've heard of Big Ben, the famous clock tower, yes? Big Ben plays the very collection of notes on the hour.
London. The capital of England, huh?
Thank you for that, 7. Just in case you didn't know where London was.
That's somewhere in France, right?
No, it's actually in Australia. At any rate, the door is now unlocked. Let's leave this place immediately.
Yeah. Yes. I am 100% in favor of leaving through the locked door that was right behind me that I'd forgotten was right behind me. Yeah, the sign's green now.
I would imagine that means it's now unlocked.
Then what the fancy shoes are we sitting around for? Let's get out of here.
Are you talking about my shoes?
I don't know, are they fancy?
I can't see them, are they?
What if someone switched Seven's shoes while he was unconscious? He's wearing sneakers. Alright, let's go.
Alright, so we finally got out of this room.
Yeah.
You found it! You found the door! Why, that is quite an accomplishment for me, as I cannot see it. Thank you.
Go, Snake.
He came out of the door and into a long, straight hallway. He paused for a moment and turned around to look behind him. 7 was bent over, apparently doing something to the door.
What's he up to?
Junpei had spoke more or less to himself, but apparently 7 had heard anyway. The larger man stood up and turned to Junpei.
I was just putting one of those plates in there. It ought to keep the door from locking again. Now we can come back here anytime we want, right?
Oh, why would you want to come back here? Snake was a reasonable one. 7 thought about it for a moment before he answered.
I'd like to play a little piano. Piano? Come on, let's get moving. We aren't out of this yet.
Without waiting for an answer, 7 started down the hallway. Snake shrugged, sighed, and quietly followed 7. Yeah.
That's a lie.
Oh, that's a lie, Junpei thought to himself. He had difficulty enough believing 7 could play the piano, but even if he could, the piano they just left was largely useless. The keyboard completely scrambled.
If Seven wanted to come back, it was unlikely he intended to do so in order to play the piano. But if that was the case, why would he want to leave the door unlocked? Junpei frowned, took one last look at the door, then walked away toward his companions. After some time in the hallway, they emerged in a larger, more open area.
Hey, this kind of looks familiar.
Yeah.
A large metal grate, like the door of a jail, divided it in half.
You know, he didn't say anything about the safe back in the room, but I suspect that's why the game had him prop the door.
They shook it for a while, but as they had expected, it did not move. Behind the grate were 2 elevators. From so far away, however, it was difficult to tell if they were still operating. On the left side of the grate was a door. Unfortunately, however, it was locked and refused to open. Junpei took a moment to examine the left side of the room. Next to the wall was a set of stairs leading downward. Standing guard at the top of the stairway was a large iron gate. Foreboding as it was, the gate seemed to be that sort that could be opened, unlike the metal grate that bisected the room. With luck, Junpei hoped he might be able to get it open.
Hey, it's the girl sign.
The female symbol?
He wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Snake, naturally, was somewhat more sure.
Oh, the Venus symbol, I imagine. Do you recall the similar symbols near the large central stairway? They reference many of the solar bodies.
Sun, Saturn, Earth.
So as you can see, like I can't, that one is likely not the woman symbol. But
Not the woman symbol, but a Venus symbol.
Sorry, you could tell I cannot see what lines are mine. So I assume. While
While they had been discussing the symbols, Junpei now realized Seven had slipped away. His absence now felt Snake and Junpei turned to look for their missing companion. There.
Where?
Where? I cannot see.
Seven had left them to head down the hallway, extending to the right of the stairs. Junpei grabbed Snake to lead him in the right direction, and they both headed off after Seven. Before long, the 3 of them stood in front of a door. It was a French door. Junpei tested the door and realized that, unlike so many others that they had encountered, it was unlocked. Almost as though he was afraid it would suddenly lock itself, Junpei threw the door open. Gotta open this quick!
Before it suddenly gets afflicted with random puzzle crap.
He stepped inside.
Oh no, too late. It's got puzzle crap.
Oh, gross. Puzzle crap everywhere.
It took only a moment for Junpei to take in his new surroundings.
Is this some kind of casino? Sure looks like one.
Before Junpei could comment further, a noise from behind made him turn around. Snake was shaking the door they'd just come through. As Seven and Junpei watched, he threw his hands in frustration and kicked the door for good measure. It looked as though they were once again locked in. There was no reason to panic, however. Even if the door had been left open, there was nowhere for them to go back there. They would have had to find another way out.
Alright, guys, let's split up and search this room.
Let's split up and search for clues like Scooby-Doo.
Come on, no dawdling. Let's go. Quickly now.
Spurred to actions by Seven's words, Junpei and Snake began to examine the room. There.
Dramatic. Places. Everywhere. Casino.
Whoa.
Seek a way out.
Yeah, we got a few more minutes in this episode. So I guess we'll just start searching.
Yeah, let's get a handle on our surroundings.
Hey, 5 card.
Boy. Playing card puzzles. The 5 of spades. Anything in the corner pockets? Nope. Okay.
I don't know if I've showed these to you, but I've got these throwing cards. They look like regular cards, but they're metal and they're sharp. And they're throwing cards.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've seen them before or not.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll show you after this episode. I won't be able to show the viewers, but I could show you at least.
I'm sorry, viewers, that you must be tantalized by our fascinating dialogue about these throwing cards.
Hey, they're really cool cards, and they were what, $10?
Yeah. If you want to see some metal throwing cards, just Google metal throwing cards on Google image search, and it'll be just like we showed them to you ourselves.
Or yet, go down to the Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
That's where you got yours?
They were just $10. I also bought a Naruto kunai knife and some kind of dual-bladed machete for $15 or something.
They sell Naruto kunai at the Smoky Mountain whatever thingy?
That's also where I got the Master Sword and Ichigo's Bankai.
Wow. That's not something I would have expected from a Smoky Mountains tourist place.
Well, they also had a Lord of the Rings sword there. They also had other Bleach swords. I mean, this is going back about 5 years ago when they had all that. But I think they still have the Master Sword there. That's also where I got my Pirate Sword and the African Tribal Axe. All those were at the Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And then a lot of the other swords I got were in Gatlinburg. And there was, 5 or 6 different sword stores there.
Wow.
There was one that I was looking at. It's like, oh, that's cool. This is Aizen's sword in Bleach. And I said, hey, how much for the sword? That's not a sword. What do you mean it's not a sword? It's an umbrella. What? Okay, never mind. I'm not interested in an umbrella. Okay.
Suddenly, Seven began to speak.
Baccarat. You ever played Junpei?
Didn't they talk about Baccarat in the other room too? Door 4? I want to say that Lotus brought it up.
Seems like it came up. There's an entire world in Saga Frontier called Baccarat. It's a casino world.
And Baccarat, the best possible hand total's 9. They call it Le Grand. But like the lowest, most worthless cards, the O's, they call it Monkey. Hey!
Angry Monkey, I think you just dissed your channel.
I did! Junpei shook his head. He'd barely even heard of the game.
Because it's so bad, Saga Frontier. I actually liked parts of Saga Frontier.
I've never even heard of it. Just like how Junpei had barely heard of this game.
Alright then, how about I explain the rules to you a bit? See, Baccarat is kind of an unusual game. You've got the banker and the player, and the whole point is that you guess which one's going to win. And whether the banker or the player wins all depends on their hands. The way each hand works is different from other games, too. See, you take the number from the one's place after you add up the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If your number is smaller than your opponent's, you'll lose. And that's it. That's the explanation. Got it? Well, actually, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, that sort of stuff. But what I just told you sums the core game up pretty well. The single digit of the sum of all the cards you have, the strongest hand is a 9, and the weakest hand is a 0. You just...
I'm not weak.
I'm talking about playing... You can hear us?
Indeed. I can hear and see every single thing you do.
Anyway, you just ignore the number in the 10 spot. Do you get it?
He hadn't been asked for it, but Seven's explanation, rushed through it was helpful. Although he'd only only half understood most of it, Junpei now felt as though he had some grasp of how victory was won in Baccarat. Half understood most of it?
That's slightly less than half understanding all of it.
Yeah.
And slightly more than mostly understanding none of it. And if you mostly understand none of half of it, then that's the same as having not understood any of the most of half of what... do you want to narrate?
Yeah.
However, Junpei had no way of knowing if the puzzle in the Baccarat table in front of them made use of those rules, and if it did, in what way. No problem, he told himself. He would simply have to try everything he could think of. Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Junpei approached the Baccarat table. So there's an 8.
Okay. I can see the playing card behind the thick glass case. It's the 8 of spades.
And we'll figure out how to get that 8 of spades in the next episode.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys then with more puzzle nonsense.
And Baccarat.
Yep, bye for now.
Goodbye.